Bonjour.
Hey, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour. All good?
Yes.
How have you been? It has been ages. It has been ages. I've been away on a top secret mission, man.
Over.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say too much about it. All I can say is that you have not seen what I have seen.
Oh my God, no. I'm glad I haven't seen. I'm glad about that. It's a proper good way to start.
But yeah, with all this stuff that like on this mission and that, been away and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I've literally been rushing this week like mad to try and one, get back here on time, and two, to get through everything and watch everything, man.
Yeah. Well, if you've been busy, then yeah, you've had a lot to catch up on. But really, I don't think this has been. I don't think we're in the halcyon days.
No.
Creative content, to be fair.
No. I mean, what I thought I was going to have to catch up on a lot more. I mean, we'll have a chat about it, but
yeah.
there was only a couple of things I needed to catch up on, really. Where's Taters?
I don't know where Taters is. I think he's having his second breakfast.
An 11 C's.
With his second breakfast.
And 11 C's.
11 C's.
Mate, your channel's going all right, man.
Yes.
I'm liking it.
I'm watching the recording of this. Hello.
Yes, man. Yes, mate.
Yeah. No, it's all. Yeah, I'm well chuffed. And looking at the one thing that has surprised me with a demographic. So behind the YouTube channel, you can look at all your analytics and all that.
Yeah.
Is 60% of my audience, bearing in mind it's geekyOlhog, is aged between 18 and 34. There's 18 to 24, which is about 30%. This is roughly. And roughly another 30% is 25 to 35 or 36. So I was really happy the fact that it wasn't just grumpy old men like me.
You're in the young guns.
That was tuning in.
Well, to be fair, that is probably like, you know, like going to a museum for them. Do you know what I mean? They get to see
Natural History Museum. I am like Jurassic Fart. Jurassic Fart with geekyOlhog. Don't go there, kids.
He needs to get in with the lingo, man.
Yeah, don't go there, kids.
Bruv, and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, damn lingo, bruv.
Yeah, you don't lingo, bruv.
There you go.
Yeah, you're a bread bin, bruv.
Doesn't work, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, it works better the way you talk, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, what else has been happening, man? Like,
do you know what? Not a lot has been, well, apart from people dying.
Huh?
Well, you had, so there's been comic artists just falling like flies suddenly.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those,
This year, and I know it's sad, so I'm not mocking it and making light of it, but it was George Perez.
Yeah.
I don't know who was first. This isn't in like any order, but this year has been George Perez, which was a comic legend, great. Then you had Neil Adams, which was even a more awesome. We owe him.
Yeah, I was gutted about that.
We owe him the modern Batman.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have it. It was when he come along. Well, like all of DC needed a bit of oof when he come along in. And this is the late 60s. So you've got
yeah.
And in the comics, it was that. And Neil Adams come along and Denny O'Neil and gave us that grim and gritty. Then they went on and done Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, we owe him. So that was George Perez, Neil Adams, and then recently Kevin O'Neill, who is more British. He's not as global, but nevertheless, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I suppose, would be the most popular reference that people would know. The film with Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Alan Moore, who wrote Watchmen.
Yeah.
Wrote League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Kevin O'Neill was the artist on that. But previous to that, he was working, done tons on 2000 AD and stuff like that. Yeah, he passed away. And then Carlos Pacheco,
Yeah.
Avengers Forever, and a load of it. And I've done a video on him and a video on Kevin O'Neill. And then
Kevin
Conroy.
That's sad. That's sad.
Which
that's
is
sad. Do you know he actually played him in live action as well once as well?
No, I didn't know that. When?
It was in the Arrowverse somewhere. I think it was that Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's when right about the time I stopped watching the Arrowverse, and they go to an alternate reality, and he's an old school Batman, and he's got like the skeleton suit on him.
I think someone has put that up somewhere, but I just clicked through. I thought they was mucking about.
Yeah, no, he actually played him in live action.
The title was, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, he actually played him in live action as well. So yeah, it's a sad one. It's a sad one. There's a lot of memories.
A lot of people, including myself, consider him when you're asked about your geeky choice.
Yeah,
the best Batman.
Yeah, he smashed it from day one.
He's the best Batman, and he gave it a lot of thought. You know, a proper voice actor. But that whole team that put those Batman cartoons together, they still hold up. I know I've done
massively
this, but I think to a modern eye, the animation can look basic now.
Well, there's a reason they got him and Mark Hamill back so many times for the animated films. So not just the animated show, the DC animated movies as well.
Yes.
There's a reason they got them back for some of that as well. So
it was all iconic stuff.
They definitely stand out. It's the same with Mark Hamill, wasn't it? They got him back to do some bits as well. So that pairing was spot on, man. Spot on.
Yeah.
What is going on with Tayters? Are we?
I don't know. We're Taterless.
We're Taterless. He said he was in the waiting room.
No carbs.
No carbs. Salads only. He said he was in the waiting room, but
no carbs. He's dropped. Oh,
yeah. He's joined. Tayters has joined.
Any taters?
Can we get taters? Oh, have we gained potatoes? Taters.
Remember, he does have technological problems, though, doesn't he?
I sent him some upgrades, man.
Did you? Did you beam him down?
Well, yeah, I don't. Well, I hope Beams was the right place, because otherwise someone's running around some very good nifty tech.
MI6.
Yeah, he's joined. Where Taters?
He's a prick.
Taters.
No.
Taters.
Let's talk about him.
Yeah, I mean,
Ollie ain't here. He's gonna bang on about Andor, isn't he?
Yeah, Andor.
Bang on about Tales of Jedi.
Yeah, Tales of the Jedi. Future of Star Wars.
I think we'll do Kids Corner when Taters talk.
Yeah, we'll do Kids Corner.
Tales of the Jedi with little baby Ahsoka. Oh,
yeah.
With all the little baby characters.
Yeah. Whilst we're waiting for his technical issues to start, shall we crack on with something that I know he's a little bit behind on anyway?
Go on.
So Walking Dead. Finale. So
I'm up to episode 20.
Okay, cool.
Christ almighty.
Oh, Taters.
Get in there.
Get in there.
Just as I was going to join the meeting, the computer decided to update.
You and your updates.
It's still in the dark.
I told you it's an old computer.
There we go.
This thing was on the space, the ship that went out to the moon.
I sent you some
what's
tech.
it called? Astrid.
No, that's the new one. I'm talking about the one that happened in 1969.
Oh, what, fucking Apollo 13?
Yeah, that one. That's why the updates take so long. There's like 7,000 of the fucking things. Anyway, sorry, boys. Where'd you get to?
Nowhere really. We talked about Kevin Conroy passing away.
Oh, yes. That was...
And then we was trying to waffle as a link as you was beaming aboard.
It took me 4 poxy attempts to get there. Never mind. We're there now.
So I was saying we're just having a little plug really for Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Whilst I was waiting for you. So I was saying that the finale
Yeah.
So Roy's up to episode 20. Is
Yeah,
it? You're up
Jesus,
to?
right. Okay.
Okay, and I'm on 23. So there's one more episode, episode 24.
Yeah.
And that comes out on Monday, and it's 90 minutes. It's the big old finale. I must say, this season's been a different season. And I think it's because anyone that's watched Walking Dead, I don't know how much you know about the latest stuff, Taters.
I haven't caught up with it all. Like when we spoke previously, the last season I got to was what was it? The Whispering Ones. I forget what
yes.
end
End of season 9.
Yeah, that's where I got to. Yeah.
So season 11 feels very, very different, and it doesn't feel like old school Walking Dead. But the way they've sort of, and there was some filler episodes this season because it's the longest season. It's 24 episodes.
Yeah,
episodes.
But they're bringing it back in these last couple of episodes. They are bringing it back, and I must say, at the end of episode 23,
yeah,
I was on the edge of my seat. They've raised the stakes nicely, and it's a 90-minute finale. And yeah, I just hope Rick Grimes is back. But it comes out this Monday. I caught up on Fear. I've caught up on World Beyond. I'm up to date with everything. I'm looking forward to this finale, and then what's to come after that as well, because they've announced some shows after that. There's going to be 3 spin-off shows that are coming off next year. One of which is Rick and Michonne.
Okay.
Another one is called Dead City, which is Negan and Maggie, and then there's another one with Daryl. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And no one's really talking about it. It's a shame because Walking Dead's been around for a long time. But of all the other people that do this sort of stuff, I haven't heard anyone talk about it at all. And it's comics as well.
They're leaving it up to you.
Yeah,
they know.
Neither are we, to be fair.
I think
this series is 17 episodes too long.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I ain't even joking.
Wow.
But it has livened up.
It has.
It has livened up to such an extent I'm looking forward to the end of it.
You're the prick that got me onto Walking Dead. Do you know what I mean?
It's a bit babyish, this series, isn't it? Really.
I must say they've been very protective of the characters. There's not as many deaths.
There was a few episodes there where I thought.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Back in the early seasons where you was getting main characters dying.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say that because I want to talk about it at some point once we've got the finale done. But yeah, very much looking forward to Monday.
That'll give me a chance to catch up.
What, 2 seasons by Monday?
Yeah. That's 3 days. That's easy.
Yeah. Click.
Yeah.
I reckon
I'll just go and stay in a hotel somewhere.
Series 11, episode 18, 19. Forget the rest of it. Crap. It's been really crap. So badly directed. Oh, shame.
Anyone we know?
But it has livened up.
Yeah, it has livened up.
Suddenly, it's like, hold on. All the people that done Series 10 and up to this point in Series 11, now suddenly there's some decent TV without people. Who remembers Leia getting chased in?
That was awesome.
Kenobi.
That was awesome.
Right? There's a scene in Walking Dead where what's the bloke's name? Is it Sebastian?
Yeah.
Where he's trying to get one of the characters that's dissed him, and he's trying to battle through the crowds, and you see 4 or 5 people, and he's going, and he's getting pushed back by the people. There literally isn't that many there.
Go around.
She's struggling through the crowds, and then he's struggling through the crowds. I'm thinking, oh, Todd, there's only 4 or 5 people there.
That's a pickup scene, isn't it? They've done that on a pickup scene, so they only had like 5 extras.
It's like Kenobi with the full shield, isn't it? Just go around.
Zombies turn up, and they've got all the stormtrooper clad soldiers all up on this platform, and he goes, "There's zombies." They go, Yeah, they don't do nothing about it.
I'm just hoping
They've got
we
all
get
the
the
guns.
send off.
They've got their guns and all the bosses, and it takes them 20 minutes of this Sebastian chasing this woman in the crowd, and there's 3 or 4 people, and they've all got the guns, and they're up on the hot.
I'm just hoping it gets the send off it. I'm just hoping it gets the send off it deserves because
no, I think it will.
So long.
I think they've got the kids out of it. I think they've just gone like that. You've had enough now. We've done enough. You know, you've all learned your craft. You've got what
let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Let the grown-ups do it, for God's sake.
Yeah. And this finale, like I say, it's 90 minutes long. The title of which is called Rest in Peace. So there's and obviously there's one character that we all want to turn up as well. So all will be revealed on Monday.
And always eat your veg.
Oh yes.
You have please. Don't leave out the rest of the
veg. Andor.
Oh, now see, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
I knew that'd get him going straight away.
Yeah, commentators.
That was so good. That was so good. That episode 10,
nearly ramped up.
Episode 11. They just,
Tell us about Taters. I know you're a big one on Easter eggs with Star Wars.
Yeah.
How heavy is it with eggs? How heavy? How much of a combo is
it? Listen. If you're just,
I've been enjoying it, and I know we've spoken, and I know you love, and you know I'll probably get Marvel Easter eggs more than I do the Star Wars ones because I watch Clone Wars, and I know it's Filoni, and that's where he started. But at least in Andor, you've been saying that there are plenty in there.
There's loads,
but it hasn't relied on them.
No, not at all. No, well, again, it's like going back.
What have been the highlights? Say like your top 3 eggs.
I'm saying if you go back,
by Andor.
If you go back in time to when George Lucas done Star Wars and Empire and Jedi.
Who?
Who?
Who was he then?
Oh yeah, some fella. Yeah, some beard enthusiast.
I'm only joking.
Hey.
I'm only joking. I do know.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know you're a real Star Wars fan, not a pretend one like Liz. But it's...
Whoa. hang on. Hang on. What do you mean real Star Wars fan and not like me? I've watched more Star Wars than him. I've watched all the Clone Wars. I've watched all of Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's true actually. Oh, I don't know who's the pretend Star Wars fan now.
I've watched Clone Wars.
I've watched everything, mate.
I've watched all the baby programs.
I must admit, the only thing I haven't done is Bad Batch and Tales.
Tales is really good. Don't listen to him. He only watched one episode. Don't listen to him.
I can snowball like that little character in the first episode as well. So, Oh, look. It's what was the kid's name in the first episode of Bad Batch?
So there's two things. There's two things. There's 3 things here quickly. 1, you called me Liz again. 2, I'm a Star Wars fan. And 3,
you keep shitting on it.
Yeah, Liz.
Yes, I want it to be done right.
Yeah, Liz.
But I've got a few points on Andor. I'll let you get your Easter eggs out of the way, and I'll go on to.
I'm just saying, it's the Easter eggs. The Easter eggs go right back in time to George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, putting little nods to each other in their movies, like again C-3PO, R2-D2 turning up in Raiders, you know, things like that, little nods. So yeah, there was just a few little nods. You had what?
What would be your top 3? Like your top 2 or 3? Like little...
Oh, the top 2, the top 1. I tell you, the top 1 straight away. Indiana's whip frozen in carbonite. That was amazing. Oh. That for me was just like, oh yeah, look at that. That's, you know. And then you had the egg things from Doom, Temple of Doom. Those were up on the shelf. There was a lot of stuff there was a lot of Star Wars Easter eggs going into the gaming world, going into the sort of like, what do you call it? The card game thing they have. I forget what it's called now. But there, the comics, there was a lot of stuff there.
Does Mon Mothma count as an Easter egg?
Card game.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma what?
Does she class as an Easter egg?
Yeah.
because I said this to Hog the other day. Right? I said this to Hog the other day. So I must have been basically because I went away for a little bit, came back, and I must admit I have said about the format and stuff before. 1, 2, and 3 loved. 4, 5, and 6, I was on a downer with it. And then I didn't watch it. And then all I've done is in the last week, I've done 7 all the way through to 11. So I'm right up to date. And I must say, I've thoroughly enjoyed every episode from 7 to 11. But it must have been literally about halfway through episode 7. I was thinking, I really recognize her. She seems familiar within the universe or something. Like maybe she turned up in the animated or something like that. Then I realized it was Mon Mothma.
You know the other bloke in Star Wars as well, the young fella with the lightsaber. What's his name? I think it's Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in it as well, is he?
No, not yet. But that Mon Mothma character, I spoke to you about this before. When we first saw her pull up in the first episode, which is outside Luthen's shop. Your mate Sven.
Oh, Sven.
It's I honestly waited for that driver to get out and go, "Milady." Yeah, it was so Thunderbirds.
Yeah, and even her voice.
It was so Thunderbirds.
I say, Parker, yeah.
But I must say though, take 4, 5, and 6 out of the equation because that was easily one episode, hour and 5 minutes, even bang on an hour. Because when you do that weekly format again, the weekly format, and it's just set up, and then it's set up for a week, and then there's nothing fucking happens. Getting it together and condensed down into that episode would have been amazing, and I wouldn't have had that lull with it. Where I've watched 7, I don't know how I would have felt if I'd watched it individually again. Where I've watched it 7 to 11, I've got right into it, and I'm loving every second of it.
I think episode 12 is going to be very dramatic. It has to be very dramatic.
What's your prediction for episode 12?
Oh, I haven't made one.
It's gone in a totally different direction to what I thought it would be. I thought the whole season would be off with the rebels and all this and all that. I didn't expect any of that stuff, and that prison stuff was spot on.
Well, they have sort of confirmed there's a time jump between season 1 and season 2. They have said it's not season 2 is not going to follow her directly. There's going to be a chunk of time. They didn't say exactly how much. Because you've got to remember, we're only 5 years before what plays out in Rogue One.
Yes.
So
we've got 5 more series then, really.
No, only 2. That's it. Two seasons. 2 seasons.
Yeah,
no, when series 2 gets announced, if this has been a hit, we're going to announce series 3, I reckon.
They're adamant they're not going to do it.
Season 1 and 2, that's it. Condensed story.
It's popular, isn't it?
Do you think in the finale they're going to show what happened to Saw Gerrera? Because obviously in Rogue One he's got all that breathing stuff, and he's not too healthy, is he?
No. I don't know. Maybe. Like I say, I've not tried to make any predictions. I've not done any research on other people's predictions. Just kind of taking it for what it is, and just
with a decent build-up episode. I would still say that the episodes that got into the prison. Like it's all been meandering, hasn't it? Like they kind of like his arc, because he's very one-dimensional as a character. Nothing's really happened to him, has he? Like his mum,
not really, no.
Stepmom, whatever we're going to call her, passed away in this episode. He doesn't know that yet.
Spoilers.
But spoilers.
Spoilers is fine. It's fine. I must admit, in the last episode, when his stepmom or mum died or whatever she was to him, that little droid, I like how they handled the Star Wars element to it, of that droid being all sad and stuff. I thought, fair play.
Well, like a little pet, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
That was, to be fair, that was pure Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was good how they did it.
But you allow it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it is. It's only in Star Wars. If that was in any other science fiction program, you couldn't forgive it, could you?
Oh, I don't know.
What, as a pet? With feet?
What was, hang on, years ago, there was a movie, Black Hole. Donkeys years ago. Did you ever see that one with the little floaty droids?
Yeah, that was Disney.
One of them was a bit sad and a bit upset.
That was Disney as well. Yeah, that's why no one.
Is that Disney? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was.
Wally as well.
It was Disney.
Wally as well.
It was sad. Oh, Wally's awesome. Wally is awesome. That's a different level. That's when Pixar were good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
before the dark days of the Empire.
Yeah.
Now they're just. Have you seen that latest one that they brought out, Pixar?
No.
About we shouldn't really go there, but
Not the geeky old hog, is it?
No, it isn't even about hogs.
Is it Ewoks?
No, it's about gay teenagers. And it went down very well. The fact that I can't remember the name, used to haven't heard of it, and it's a Pixar movie, says it all.
Yeah.
And this,
big time.
I'll go in, I'll plunge in.
Well, the amount of times
They
that you
are losing money large.
So do you remember Up?
Yes.
So the opening to Up is regarded as one of the best setups of a film ever. Because in that opening, you've got the entire life story done.
You tell one man's life story in 4.5 minutes.
Yep.
Now,
and that's talent.
Yeah, I think
that's talent.
And
that's
it's
talent.
silent.
Even out of the guy had a really boring life.
Just with music. Yeah, might be something too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the other thing that only takes me a few seconds and it's over.
But with Andor, the meandering nature of it, and I know it is all connected. Like, so we join him doing the heist and being recruited by.
Gentlemen, carry on talking. My little one has woke up. I've just got to go and see him, and I'll be back down in 2 minutes. Keep going.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, like you say, it has meandered. I don't know what it is with these filler episodes. Like when you come to create a story or a series, the form, and I go about it again and again. I know I'm banging on about it, but the formatting is always something that should be in your mind. So if you've got a story that feels 6 episodes or 7 episodes, at what point and how does it happen where they go, well, actually, no, we want 12. Oh, great. Now I've got to stretch the story out.
Yeah.
But then, even then, oh, great. Now I've got to stretch the story out. Don't stretch it out. Come up with some more stories.
No, it's purely for content.
Exactly. Just come up with some more stories. If you've got to deliver week on week, and shows have done it for years, you've got to deliver week on week content and excitement and something to bring you back next week. By just doing these little episodes where it's just filler and setup and, well, we didn't really want to do this episode, but we had to stretch it because we were short of an episode. Shows used to go for like, the average season back in the day was like 22 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And it was every week and away you go. So I don't understand where this has come from, because when Andor's been on its peak, it's been brilliant. But again, just that dip from 4, 5, and half of episode 6, really, I just don't get the point of that.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We are missing. There is no measurement. There is no reference. There is no quality control.
No.
On audience.
They've said it already, haven't they?
The phrases I'm looking for. But back in the day that you're talking about, where seasons used to be 22, 24, 26 episodes.
And they delivered every week.
It was network.
Yeah.
It needed advertising revenue to get them a series 2. The streaming platforms, which I think now, apart from Netflix, it appears to be they're all running out of steam. All of them. Loads of dough, even Amazon. That billion.
Well, Paramount's. How long's Paramount Plus been going on for?
Paramount Plus.
Just over a year, I think.
That's tanking. Yeah, that's going.
Knees. And they reckon they might have to sell off Star Trek to save it. Why they want to save it? Just sell the whole lot. There's nothing to save at this point.
Disney will buy that.
It's going to come. it was always going to come. There was always going to be a load of, in any competitive market. But when you take away the measurement and an audience like analytics, when you take analytics away from it, so did the audience like it? But it's all right, Disney telling us what their analytics are telling them.
Oh yeah,
No one else can see it.
Oh, they did it with She-Hulk, didn't they?
Netflix are the same. Amazon are the same. They all tell us how great every single series. It's a bit like a politician that never apologizes because everything they do is great.
Mm.
And in the end, you don't listen. You just go, no, that was shit. And what you tell me, whatever you.
But the frustrating thing is they've
but without that measurement, when those shows used to be, and I think we spoke about Buffy the Vampire Slayer before,
yeah,
where that was one of the last ones I can remember that went out to the network and went on for the second. The first series when you look back was, and your first series is always going to be like that, isn't it? But it done all the fundamentals. And when you really got the second series, and then they're kind of rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the movie though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, many moons ago.
Yeah. So the movie set up obviously the TV series because it was her move from there to there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, even that was great. That was a great film.
There's nothing at the end of any series now where the director of the board, like the governor, the boss, he sits down and he looks at the network he looks at advertising revenue, and he looks at audience figures that are done by Nielsen or TV, whatever it is, who used to say, right, that got 33 million viewers. There's none of that anymore. We're relying on the lies.
With their analytics now regarding viewing figures.
Hours. It's all watch hours.
Yeah, no, their analytics now regarding viewing figures is the percentage above like the expectations or whatever it is. Because I was talking to you about it the other day. Andor sitting at the fourth most watched, or analytically the fourth most watched program currently running. Because it was however much percent above the expected viewing figures.
One of the first things I've seen Dismal have done, Star Wars, where it just comes across as written by adults.
Right, watch Tales. Like I said to you before, watch Tales, not just the first episode, watch all 6 episodes of Tales.
The main thing that winds me up with this is right the fact that you had Force Awakens was the first one that Disney did. So anything from Force Awakens onwards has been Disney. Rogue One was part of Disney. So is obviously Andor. So it shows they can do some good stuff.
Season 7 of Clone Wars. That
season
was
7 of,
exceptional.
I'll give you that. Season 7 of Clone Wars was good.
Very good.
I mean, I have got one issue with Clone Wars.
Go on.
I don't want to break your heart, to be fair.
No, you won't break my heart.
So the one issue I've got with Clone Wars was done retrospectively, in a way, because George Lucas done his prequels, and then they released the Clone Wars, and they were doing all their bits with that. For me, the amount of times they encounter Dooku doesn't really make sense with the opening of Revenge of the Sith, and with Ahsoka. Don't get me wrong. I love the Ahsoka character. I think she's a good character.
Be careful.
I think she's a good character. I knew this would get you. I said it to Hog the other day. I knew this would get you.
Friendly. Kept it friendly up to now.
Ahsoka's a great character. I'm not disputing that. However, I would have preferred it if she wasn't Anakin's apprentice.
Right.
Because that way you don't have to worry about continuity and trying to explain where she was and why she wasn't mentioned in Revenge of the Sith. And now that she's survived all the way through, we've got her in Boba Fett meeting up with Luke and all that sort of stuff. They should have done her as someone else's apprentice, someone like Ki-Adi Mindu or Mace Windu or someone like that. Have her as that apprentice. And then...
Hang on, here comes the Star Wars fan. Who?
Ki-Adi Mindu.
Ki-Adi Mindu, yeah.
Ki-Adi Mundi.
Is it
whatever it is?
Mace Windu.
Whatever it's called. The big
looks
thing.
a bit like you, Roy. He's just got a smaller forehead.
That don't take a lot of doing, does it?
But and then get rid of her before the original trilogy happened. So get rid of her in Rebels or something like that.
Get rid of her? No, don't get rid of her ever. She's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
the
but
best character there.
Yeah, but where was she through the original trilogy then?
For the original trilogy. Well, that okay.
It's a
what have you watched?
It's a retcon. It's a retcon.
What have you watched?
It's an obvious retcon.
Did you watch all of Tales?
Right. No.
You didn't watch all of Tales?
I haven't watched Tales at all.
Right, okay. So I can't.
But what I'm saying is,
he's not seen Baby.
Did you watch? Did you watch Forces of Destiny?
I watched that fight with you that you showed me.
Did you watch Forces of Destiny?
No. What's that?
Right. Okay. So it's a little short clips from characters within the Star Wars universe. So Ahsoka pops up and meets Padme, and they go into a little bit of their story as friends. In Tales, she pops up at Padme's funeral. That's happening in Revenge of the Sith, where she comes across Bail Organa. They have a quick chat. Spoilers again, sorry everybody. So I say everybody, I'm talking to the 3 people that watch this shit. But yeah, there are explanations. I've got the Ahsoka book. If you want to borrow it one day, you could borrow the Ahsoka book and read it.
I'll beam it up. I'll beam it up. I just feel like it's a massive retcon. It just opens up so many questions about where was she and this and that, and they're trying to come up with excuses of why she was absent.
I mean, it's not excuses. Again, once you understand the story, but it is a case of why is she absent? You remember she left the Jedi Order. She didn't want to be a Jedi anymore. She didn't trust them fully. Yeah. So there was that. She went her own path. Yes, she turns back up again, but there's a lot going on.
I just feel I would have preferred it if she wasn't Anakin's apprentice.
See, I thought about who else could have trained her, and there isn't really any other than, I mean, the only other Jedi that I could see that got away with training her would have been Yoda or Plo Koon.
Plo Koon would have been a good shout.
Who?
Plo Koon.
Oh, God. He's the guy with the big metal mask.
Oh, Iron Man.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Oh, I've got something to show you as well. I've done this for you. Where is it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Quality.
Yeah, there's a bit of Dismal Minus.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yes, and they certainly are.
There we go.
So what we got?
Well done, sir.
What have we got to look forward to next with Star Wars?
Christmas. Oh, Star Wars. Oh, sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's coming out in Star Wars? I forget now. I mean, we got a load coming out in 2023. I think there's about 7 or 8 different things slated for 2023.
Oh, bloody hell.
Most of them are in the middle of filming or been filmed or in post-production.
So we've got Mandalorian, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got Mandalorian 3, got the Ahsoka series, we've got Bad Batch 2. Shit, I can't remember. I can't remember all of it off the top of my head.
We think Kathleen Kennedy's in remission now, her influence on this stuff, because I'm thinking that Andor hasn't got her touch on it.
No,
I agree. I'm thinking
it's
a turning. I'm thinking Andor's a turning.
We're holding her up as a pariah for everything that's wrong with Star Wars. It isn't just her, but my God, it is mostly her.
Shit rolls downhill, isn't it?
So are we thinking that, or are we hoping that Andor has shown that without her,
it could be done?
Can be a grown up, but not grown up in 18 content, but just back to something decent that just ordinary people can follow with. And I know they've had their moments with the politics of it in Andor, and they can't help themselves, can they? They just can't help themselves. But other than that,
but when you've got a good story, you don't care because you've got a good story that's engrossing you.
Yeah, it kind of goes, it zips away. And you think, oh well, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, when you have a good story, you're not focusing on that. If you want to read into it and you want to get those messages out of it, great, you can read into it, but you don't have to. It's not message first, then story. It's the story, then put a little bit of message into it. That's all it is, and it works better that way because fundamentally, if you haven't got a story, you've got fuck all.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the end of the day, But I mean, like I said, I think for me, it proves that they can do it. We've had shit from Star Wars
Can be done
for a little while now, and Boba Fett and Kenobi were the lowest of the lows. Now we've come to a high. Let's just not go back down again. Let's keep it there.
This is what I said. Boba Fett is the measure. Boba Fett is the measure of how low can a Star Wars show get, and that is as low as it can get. As long as nothing ever goes lower than that, get Lucasfilm to. They don't need to necessarily kill Kathleen Kennedy. They just need to push her out of the way.
And I think she's on her way out. From what I hear.
think she is.
I think, from
yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what's happening with the Acolyte, actually. I think, I don't know if that's been held indefinitely or it's been cancelled. I'm not sure what's going on because that was her show.
What's that, Taters?
It's called The Acolyte. It was like a pre-Jedi. It was set pre-Jedi days. So Force users, there were no Sith, there were no Jedi. It was leading into that part.
Oh, so like how the Jedi were created is what you're saying.
And the Sith, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So you had light side users, dark side users. They weren't Jedi and Sith. They didn't follow codes. They were just people that used the Force. But it was, yeah, this was the. I mean, you're going back like thousands of years in that timeline. But to be honest with you, on paper, it actually read like a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Seemed like a good show, but I'm not sure what's happening with it now. I don't know if it's just held or if it's been cancelled. I don't know. Got to wait and see.
Got to admit, I would like to see this team of people that have been working on Andor all stay together and then all go and
do more. Well, because they brought up about Rian Johnson's trilogy again, didn't they, the other day?
We'll go from
God, no! Don't let that bloke go anywhere near it. Don't let Rian Johnson go anywhere near it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was just like, oh, Rian Johnson's trilogy. Fuck off. He's proved he can't handle a Star Wars show. He just done a cock fucking swinging competition with J.J. Abrams. That went, oh, well, there we go. We saw the result of that.
Is there not any talk of any new films at all?
Yes, there are. Yes, there are films.
Enlighten us.
Well, none of them have got titles yet.
So it's literally just talk.
To be fair, I looked the other day and everything's untitled Star Wars film, untitled Star Wars film, untitled Star Wars.
They're telling you who the director is, but they're not telling you the title because they haven't got
one of them's Patty Jenkins.
The director's born yet?
No, one of them's Patty Jenkins.
Who?
Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman.
No.
Another one's Takawa
the X-Wing Squadron one.
Is Watiti doing Watiti Kikiki, whatever his fucking name is? Yeah, I think he's doing one. Yeah,
it's called What We Do in the Empire.
Fuck you, But to be fair though, I mean we've seen how they handle super, but then this is the thing. So Disney they've come to a high. Let's just not lose that standard again.
No,
with
I'm going to correct
Star
you,
Wars.
Wizard.
What's that?
As much as I'm enjoying Andor, it is not a high. It is for them, but in the grand scheme of things, this is average.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
This isn't the most wonderful thing I've ever seen. I'm looking forward to every week. Like these episodes, and not everything has to be legendary.
No.
We're going to use Andor as a high watermark.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is why they did Boba Fett.
Give you a high watermark.
This is the whole reason they did Boba Fett.
Daredevil is the gold standard. And I know it's not Star Wars, it's Marvel. Now that is a standard.
Yeah.
And
Daredevil Punisher.
Still, if you were going to, do a little, like a bar graph of where Andor is compared to Daredevil. Daredevil's here, Punisher's just a little bit below it. Andor is still it. They're still in the middle.
Yeah.
Good, positive. I'm not saying that to slate it. I'm only saying that because it was still all puffy and it was like all doughy and squidgy, and now it's got a nice, hard, tasty crust on it. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Again, Cyril and what's her name? Oh, Little Miss Sneery. You know, she's reveling in the role. You can see, coming good.
Yeah.
And
Taters, what's your
wonderful thing? And you could get all the episodes and go, right, I would have done it a different way. We can all do that.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I would say that is a wonderful picture of me. mid ponder. When I do my videos, right, and I go to download them, they give me a picture like that every single time. It's never a good one where I'm going. Time where I'm going.
Anyway,
you derailed me with that.
Taters, so take Ahsoka out of the equation. So no, that'd be your answer. What Star Wars product are you most excited for next?
I'm trying to remember them all now. What was the Rogue Squadron? Rogue Squadron looks pretty good, I think. Again, on paper.
What's the director of that one?
I ain't got a clue.
Wasn't that the Patty Jenkins one?
I think it is.
Again, I don't know who's attached to it direct.
Kathleen Kennedy goes, "Oh, come on, come over here and do enough more shit for us." After old Zaslav boots her out of fucking Warner Brothers. Yes, boot her out. Man. Shit.
Have you heard what Warner Brothers said?
Wonder Woman very well. A good writer, good director. She can't do it all. A bit like Watiti.
Yeah.
They disappear right up their own rear end when they get given the whole lot, instead of directing their creativity to where it works the best within a whole team that are all working towards.
Yeah.
He's best at that. She's best at this. He's best at that. She's best at this. Instead, they go, "Oh, go away. Go on. Go over there and do your most creative thing, Mr. Guacawacatito." He comes back with 3 and 3/4 hours of Thor Love and Thunder. Really?
It was ridiculous.
And
absolutely
actually,
ridiculous.
on that subject, Thor Love and Thunder as the measure for Wakanda Forever.
What?
It's not good.
Have you seen it?
It's not looking.
No. I can't really comment. So I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
All I've seen are the blood. Do you know you've got the obvious people on both sides slating it. The ones you expect to slate it are slate. I wish I could find a middle ground. Just someone I could trust to say there's a couple, and I won't name names, but there's two that I've watched that I do trust, and at best they're saying it's too long. They should have just recast. What they both said was they should have just recast the character. Instead of doing this ridiculous skinny little girl at the end, who is the new Black Panther, and they've
I'm surprised
they've shoehorned in Loveheart as the new or Love Fart.
Isn't it right though that they've fucked up Namor as well?
Yeah, no, it's Namor. Or have you seen in the trailer where he goes? My people call me Akukuka.
Yeah, Kuku Khan. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't Aztec, was he? He wasn't Namor Atlantean.
Waka waka iki.
Wasn't Namor Atlantean.
Maybe they were trying to distance it from Aquaman.
Yeah, Namor was Atlantean, wasn't he? He wasn't fucking Aztec.
Yeah, but maybe for the film's purposes, maybe they tried to distance it because obviously everyone knows Aquaman, and because Aquaman's become so big,
they're friends.
Maybe they were trying to distance it from that, so it's something different. I don't
that would
know.
make it good. That would make it brilliant. Let's do a crossover like we had with the comics back in the day. What was it? Fanacide. Let's do a crossover.
No,
see, the thing is,
Namor, the Submariner.
I don't understand. I don't understand
well.
why has he got wings on his ankles?
He always has had wings. I don't. Well,
But why? He's underwater.
Because they wanted him to fly out of water.
If we're all talking about that, it's a bit like the wings that Captain America used to have on his.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes.
But we don't talk about that because the films were decent.
Yeah.
When they're shit,
First one was amazing.
When Wakanda Forever is shit, people will talk about the wings on his feet. In the original, anyone would have thought I was prepared. Marvel Comics #1. Human Torch. Nice. This is pre-Fantastic Four. Yeah. So this is obviously a replica of the first Marvel Comics. And he's got little wings on his feet. Look, angels in it.
Yeah.
Pre-X-Men. So Submariner goes back to, what was the date of this thing? Bill Everett drew the original character, by the way. And
Didn't they make windows?
Helped. Eh?
Didn't he make windows?
That was Kenny Everett, wasn't it?
No, he made a lot of other things.
When was it? 1940 something. This is. Yeah, look at that little picture there. Look, with little wings on his feet. It's just a design. Look with his little trunks on. Look like Mr. He looks like. Do you remember those old bodybuilding ads?
Yeah.
He looked, but that was
Charles Atlas.
It was, that's the one. It was a design from Bill Everett, who also designed with Stan Lee the original Daredevil. So, and that was in the mid-60s. So 20 years later, after Bill Everett is doing Marvel Comics #1, I'm trying to find the year it came out. I'm sure it was 46. Oh no, 1939. 1939.
Teenager then, wasn't it?
I was been married 3 times by then. 18 kids. Blue Atlanteans. Blue.
Yeah, they would be. It's cold down there.
But and don't you think this would be the perfect Dismal character, as in mixed race? Because
they could cross it over with Finding Nemo.
Officer mixing it up with an Atlantean princess getting jiggy.
Yeah.
Through Submariner. So where the wings come from, I don't know. You might have had all other funny little bits and pieces. When you look at that, look how good he is.
That's a good cover, isn't it?
Exciting. Like, and you've got a tumour there as well. And he's in the FF. And they had that love triangle in Fantastic Four where it was Sue Storm and the Submariner was getting involved, and she fancied a little bit of Namor, you know what I mean? And making Reed Richards jealous, and then Ben Grimm, because he's Reed Richards' mate. All those early FF stories. How dramatic that sounds, just what I've described there. How dramatic. The decades, they've got decades of Submariner, Prince Namor, whatever name you want to give. You've got decades of how to handle the character, and instead they go, nope. We've got piles of comics, like, you know, piles up in the air, and they go, and they look at 2 children at the other side of the table who've done fuck all ever before, and they say, what do you 2 think? And they both go, I'm Spanish, so should we do
Aztecs?
Yeah, that'd be good. It's pathetic.
I must say the one thing that I have liked from Marvel is Werewolf by Night.
Oh, did you see it?
I finally got to watch that last night. That was really good. I really enjoyed that.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Again,
short and sweet, 55 minutes. Boom.
And it seems like, and again, it seems like it was a little project over there that a few people were doing in the basement.
Yeah.
And they were left alone.
Yeah.
Come across like that to you. It's got nothing to do with anything.
I mean, you had the big monster
Which
called
is
Ted and
glorious.
stuff like that, but I mean,
what?
you had the big monster called Ted,
Oh right,
it's like that. But other than that, man, it was solid. It was solid for 55 minutes. Nice, short, sweet, done.
It was
Good.
evocative of the old 40s, you know.
Yeah, it was solid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Old musty farts, but you had enough new stuff in there.
Yeah.
Enough nods to the old Marvel horror comics. There was tons in there.
See, even
Yeah.
the choice to do it black and white, it was spot on.
And bringing the colour in at the end.
Yeah, just right at the
Yeah.
very end.
Nice.
Standard, almost like a standard trope in a way, you know,
Yeah.
the red coat on a little girl in Schindler's List. It's kind of like,
Never seen it, but yeah,
it's not ever been done before. It's always been done before, but they just delivered it.
yeah.
Yeah.
50
Again, it shows that even Dismal Minus can still deliver Marvel. So what's going on? What's going wrong? They can still deliver it. We had a little gem there. That was nice.
I think they're just clearing. They're clearing out, for want of a better phrase. They're clearing themselves out, like Kathleen Kennedy. Once, in all seriousness, once her influence on the Star Wars side of things is gone, and you've got Favreau and Filoni.
Yes.
They are not perfect. They're not perfect. No, they're not. They're not.
No, hang on. Sorry. Favreau and Filoni are not perfect. You're correct. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Correct. And Filoni is a very creative writer. They will.
Filoni is as close to God as you're going to get.
And edits. They still need an editorial oversight over them, because Filoni does write very. He aims it at children. His writing, he aims it. For some reason, I'm not saying he isn't creative. I'm not saying he can't tell a story, but for some reason, he kind of aims it at a 7-year-old. Well, for me, he has, with his writing, he has the audience in mind. Why, rather than go like that and have it tamed down and tempered down, and again sharpened up by a team into this, it's always goo goo gaga.
Not quite, but you got to remember he was trained by George Lucas. Lucas, like he is as close to George Lucas as you can get.
Yeah. Again, I would say that Lucas, with a team around him, with Lawrence Kasdan directing one of his films from a story that he wrote, that Miaz wrote, delivers one of the best films we all remember. But we still praise Lucas for the whole thing, don't we?
Mm. And I think, absolutely.
So what you've said, Taters, is spot on, really, with Filoni, because I think when he's left alone to romp free, we get the prequel trilogy.
That wasn't Filoni.
I know. It was Lucas, wasn't it?
No, that was George, yeah.
So this is
I'll say it like I know him. Yeah, it's good old George.
This is my point. When Lucas is left to romp free,
you get Jar Jar Binks.
Who did Lawrence, who directed the third one, Taters?
That wasn't that Kershaw again.
Irving Kershaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But nevertheless, solid event films molded into, we aren't going to talk about Ewoks either. But 2 films after his first one, he got it was Lawrence Kasdan directed the Second Empire, wasn't it?
No, it was Kershaw.
Irving Kershaw, was it?
I'm sure it was. I'm sure he done both. I'm sure he done both of them.
Nevertheless,
I may be wrong.
My opinion of Filoni isn't a bad one. I'm not saying that, but I think if they could just assemble that team around Favreau and Filoni,
yeah.
But with someone, if Kennedy is gone, if you've got someone literally directing them, aiming them at stuff, saying, like a Stan Lee type figure, saying we need one of them, we need one of that. We need a series about the bad guys. We need a series about a female Jedi. We need a series about, and it's a shame because advertising back in the old days, in the old format, worked really well in that, because you'd have the head honcho saying, right, we need one of them for that demographic. We need one of them for that demographic.
Yeah.
We need an episode to air once a week between 6 and 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. But do you know what? We could do a little half-hour slot on a Sunday at 10. Tales of the Unexpected.
But I'll tell you who is doing that now.
But Filoni's background.
Do you see what I mean? But
I'll tell you who seems to be doing that now.
I'm not down on him at all, because he's a very creative guy. He's more creative than I am. But he does seem, when he's left alone, he seems to just aim it at kids.
Well, his background is kids. Well, so he started at King of the Hill.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Dave Filoni started at King of the Hill, and then he went on to Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then from there, he went on to...
So he started off with kids and ended up being an airbender.
Yeah, started off with being an airbender, yeah.
You might want to rephrase that.
Go there, Rob.
Worrying times.
Oh, actually...
You might want to rephrase his background is kids.
Yeah. He's on a list. Listen, I love Dave Filoni, so shut up. Listen, I've just... Right. Irving Kershner done Empire. The guy that done Jedi. He's got a funny surname. Marquand, something like that. Richard Marquand.
Marquand, yeah.
Yeah, I can never pronounce his name properly. Yeah, that was Jedi. Sorry, I got the two mixed up. Yeah, that was Kershner was Empire.
But they got on board. Just see that old-fashioned structure.
Yeah.
Investors and big companies, and all right, Star Wars worked.
Yeah.
But they didn't just give Lucas the keys to the city, did they?
Yeah.
You think of all the battles that George, bless him, had to come to make that first film. Nevertheless, they still didn't give him carte blanche, did they?
No.
And I think it's better for it.
Well, look what happened in the first one. Jesus Christ.
It's writers and directors that deliver on a level. And I just think, anyway, but we kind of regurgitating it all.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, who seems to be doing that sort of stuff with that structure that you're talking about, Hog, is DC. So Zaslav's come in, he's appointed James Gunn and Peter Safran. They're getting Cavill back. They're kind of make it streamlined. It's like Zaslav's come in and gone, literally what you've just said is the team.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. You go off that, you go off that.
Checks and balances. Like you do all the special effects, but you do all the you sort that out, you sort this out. But there's oversight on all of them.
Yeah.
Someone's saying, and it's down to that, the editor, normally, in a comic, it would be the editor, and he would go, you've got a good story there, but we're going to tweak it. And that would be the editor's job. Sort that out. That doesn't make sense. These people, at the moment, they've got no one saying, this doesn't make sense, or that's too long. Especially that's too long, that's what she said. Because they say, no, we need more content. Yeah. Let's have an 18-minute episode.
But I was happy when they announced
but this is the thing though, so the irony, so let's have an 18-minute episode, and then there's me going, well, hang on, those episode 4, 5 and 6 of Andor could have been condensed into one. There's no mid ground. It's either too short or it's dragged out way too long. There's no mid ground.
That's point of view though, isn't it? It's if like I've got a few friends that have seen Wakanda Forever, that some have moaned it is too long, some have moaned they wasn't even aware at the time. They were right in it, they enjoyed it. So it's down to your perception of what's too long, what's too short.
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment
on
it.
No, me either. So I'll wait for it to come out on Plus, and then I'll go from there.
Up to much.
Eh?
The first one wasn't up to much.
I find it strange they've gone for Shuri to replace him. I thought they've done, was it Akai? Or, you know, the lead woman from the Guard, the one that's also in Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, yeah.
That one.
Sure.
Why didn't they?
Yeah, but she's not the royal family, is she? She's just a guard.
But still, if they had to have like shoehorn someone in, surely one of your best warriors would be the best person to take over Black Panther, not your tech girl. Because that's what she is the tech girl.
But she's also a princess of Wakanda.
And the best. They're just the best.
Best at everything.
Yeah.
They're just the best. They're just great, aren't they?
But there's no
everything straight away.
And again,
story when the character starts off being the best at everything they can do and never put a foot wrong, makes for great stories.
It does.
It's so interesting watching someone do everything right and correct.
That's the story of your life, isn't it, Hog?
That's why I'm here. That's why I've lasted all these centuries. Didn't you see me in Werewolf by Night in the background?
You was one of those heads on the wall.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So Wakanda Forever, we haven't seen it, and
No,
but trailers. There's Avatar 2.
I'm very excited.
Hang on. Trailers.
Taters.
Oh, it's come up wrong. Oh my god.
No, go on. John Wick 4.
John Wick 4. Oh,
Looks.
I'm very
that
excited.
looks shit hot, doesn't it?
That looks
It
like
looks
they have all
shit hot.
decided to do everything it says on the tin.
Yes.
To have samurai swords.
Yes.
To have them shooting each other point blank, but we know they've got their vests on, their special jackets.
It looks like they realised.
Yeah.
It looks like they realised the mistakes they made in number 3 and was just like, no, we're going to iron this right out.
Yeah.
So I must admit, I've enjoyed every single John Wick film.
I just thought, I mean, for me personally,
I like
watching
the world they've created as well. The world they've created, you feel like.
That's nice. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love John Wick. I love the John Wick. I love the John Wick series, but it was number 3 specifically. The fight scenes were like it was not up to scratch with 1 and 2.
Well, they used in number 3. They used a lot. You know the film The Raid and The Raid 2. They used a lot of the guides from. I think it's Korean, South Korean.
Yeah.
Bug spray
or Thai or something like that. But it's The Raid and Raid 2. They're great films, and they used a lot of the cast from that.
Well, no, it was just the fight. The fight in itself just looked laboured. It looked laboured and slow compared to the first 2.
You're right. It's Filipino, but that they used a lot of the cast from that, and the Raid films were fucking spot on in terms of their action. But you said it before. When you get a franchise, and you said it before about when you get a franchise and it's you feel like there's a greater world out there and there's more stories to tell, even though you're not seeing it on screen.
Yeah.
That's what John Wick's created. And I love it for that. Because you feel like there's loads more stories.
Like the latest trailer, you see the woman that he has to fight with. Is it in the second one where she kills his mate?
Yeah.
And you see her back. That I love.
Yeah. Because
that's a little nod to the people that have seen the second one. I think, I'm pretty sure it's the second one.
Yeah.
But like Lizzie's saying, it's that extended universe and the characters they've created, you know, the fact that they coins and
the continental
in the first film.
Yeah.
And it's Setwar.
Yeah.
And it all started because of his dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just get over that bit. They've managed to engross us and get us in to 4 films now, because we're all going to go and see the 4th one. 4 films now, and the main plot point, the main catalyst of it all was someone killed his dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. It's absolutely awesome. He always delivers. It's absolutely awesome. Originally, they were supposed to do John Wick 4 and 5 back to back, but they didn't for some reason. So I'm not sure. I don't know if it was because of COVID. I don't know what it was, but we should be expecting a number 5. We should be expecting a number 5.
And then that's it?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's enough now.
Yeah.
I think so. It depends on how 4 goes, but
they carried on, didn't they? So they're gonna.
But I mean, in terms of trailers, because we've said as well, like a lot of the time, the first trailer recently it's like they've lost all the people that make trailers, because some of the trailers have just been atrocious.
Trailers, yeah.
But then the Department of Trailers is coming back, because we've had John Wick 4, which I'm proper excited about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now Avatar 2.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about Avatar 2?
Oh,
I am literally ready to go. So I managed to sneak. I managed to sneak into a cinema a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
When they were re-showing Avatar, the original one, in the IMAX 3D.
Yes.
And oh my god, I loved every second of it, and I'm so excited. And they showed a little in the IMAX 3D at the end. They showed a little 2-minute clip.
Yeah.
Of Avatar 2.
Nice.
And it was the underwater scenes, and it looked absolutely stunning.
Good job.
That's when you realise how much you miss decent sci-fi
and decent CGI.
Yes.
I don't think this was the She-Hulk team doing it.
The She-Hulk team were probably doing the toenails.
yeah, the CGI.
That's on their CV.
Yeah, the CGI.
The toenails on Avatar 5.
The CGI looks amazing, but one little complaint: the toenails don't look quite right.
Yeah, that's it. The toenails are too long; they need trimming.
But I like the fact of the time frame, the gap between 1 and 2, because that's quite a big danger. The gap between 1 and 2, that amount of time between 2 films, you potentially lose your hype, or you potentially build momentum. But I like, in terms of the story, they mention it takes about 6 years to return home when the humans are exiled.
Oh yeah, so from Pandora back home, and so it's a 12-year round trip.
So 6 years to get home, a year to regroup, and then 6 years back. In terms of timeline, releasing it now is perfect. It's 13 years later.
Yeah.
So the only thing that it could potentially fall down on, and this is very, very, I'm praying it doesn't.
Go on.
And they've got to do it in a new way. Is we know that the humans are going to come back at some point.
Yeah.
Is it going to be samey? Because we know he's doing a 3, we know he's doing a 4, we know he's doing a 5. They need to go into a completely different direction, because if the humans keep coming back every single fucking film, it's going to get very samey.
Predators.
Well, yeah.
Another alien race.
That's the answer to everything. Predators.
Alien race. I mean, I think in this one, don't we see some glimpses that it is the humans again?
Yeah. There's some glimpses that they're back, and
they're going to have to reunite all the different factions, aren't they? It's a classic.
Yeah.
But you are right. If
we know as well that they're going to come back in a bigger force. We know they're going to come back in a bigger force.
Yeah, they will. There's money involved.
Yeah, exactly. They come back bigger, stronger, which is why they're going to have to get everyone right.
That allegory is only going to work one more time.
Yes.
One more time. Unite the tribes to defeat the foe, the big bad, the human race. Oh my God, we're getting it. We are getting it. Okay, you're American. You feel guilty about massacring the indigenous people of the country you colonized. We get it now. Third film, give us more sci-fi now. We get that. I think this will be amazing. Yeah. I know they're doing more underwater stuff. They're kind of making this the first one was airborne, weren't it? This is going to be a crack. So third one, hopefully they might go to other planets. Maybe
someone said
the end of the second film might be a downer, and they have to fuck off to another planet.
Well, they filmed 2 and 3 back to back, and I don't know the release date of the next one. I think it might be next year, or if not the year after. But they've already filmed it. They're already in the special effects side of it.
Well, if it's in the can, hopefully it's a year.
Yeah, so I've got a feeling, because he's had to remake technology again.
I'm going to say he's renowned for doing things right close to the mark, isn't he? Because he did it with Avatar, the first one.
Yeah, so I think this one's going to end on a cliffhanger. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
I think you'll be right.
Yeah, of course it will. Yeah, it'd have to.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it, and if he's got 3, 4, and 5 in his head already,
I mean,
you know,
Well, if
it's got to be a
think-
cliffhanger.
I think they're filming.
films, hasn't it?
I actually think they're filming 4 and 5 at the moment, which is a massive risk because I can't foresee it, and I'm praying to God it's not. If this one flops
Yeah,
and doesn't reach the numbers that the first Avatar, 'cause that's still the highest grossing movie of all time.
of course.
If this flops and doesn't, it'll get to a certain level because of the hype behind it, because
Yeah.
people are excited.
Yeah,
But if it doesn't hit that and it flops, or number 3 flops, well, you've already filmed 4 and 5. No one wants to see it. So it's a massive risk what he's done, but I love him for it at the same time.
yeah. But I mean, I'm not sure who's behind him on it. I haven't actually done much research into who's banking it.
Not sure.
No, I haven't. It's
No.
like with New Line. And
I think it's his own production company as well.
That's what I mean. I think it's his own money.
I would be very. I think he's put his name. Yeah, he's got a stake in it, but there's nowhere near enough money for him to back it.
No,
Not personally, no, nowhere near. If you say his own money, maybe you know there's profits of Avatar. I think it's too fragmented.
yeah,
But nevertheless, I think he's invested in more ways than one.
oh yeah, absolutely. But then he's again
I admire
that's
him for that. And
that's James Cameron with all his films, isn't it? He puts himself in. He's all in on all of it.
he's like
What was the gap between Terminator 1 and Terminator 2? How many years was between them two?
What did you have? What was 2? 96? Was 2 96?
Yeah. So the first one would have been 80.
80. I'm trying to remember now. He did Barbarian in 81, didn't he? Not obviously not Cameron. I'm talking about Schwarzenegger.
Come out, so that would have been.
Oh Jesus Christ! I want to say 80, but I don't think it was.
It would have been after Empire Strikes Back. That was 80, wasn't it?
That was 81 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 80.
Oh, hang on, no, hang on, I've got it. Terminator was 1984. Judgment Day was 91.
Right.
There was there was a big gap between those two. So he's done it before and he's pulled it out of the bag when there's been big gaps.
Yeah.
You know, so he's done it.
Else out. If you think the people that just like zombies, like lemmings, just go to watch a film like Wakanda Forever, and just go to the cinema because there's not a lot out.
No, I was surprised.
That's the thing. There's not a lot coming out, so everyone's cramming into cinema to get a bit of entertainment.
Only if you're going to get idiots to go and watch something that low brow.
And I mean, so obviously I've only just come back this week. I've managed to cram in Andor, Walking Dead, and I finally finished off House of Dragon. But now I'm like, well, what else is there to watch?
House of the Dragon.
There's loads, right? So Amazon have got a new show, Peripheral. I was talking to you about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's.
Have you
put your foot in the door with that yet, or no?
No, I haven't.
It's one to make you think. That's for sure. I like to say I've got to go back and start again because I sort of like.
He won't like it.
Fragmentedly watching it. Obviously, kids and my attention span ain't great anyway. I've got the attention span of a fish.
Have you finished off House of Dragon yet, though?
Me, no.
Have you finished it?
I didn't bother.
No, it's got to 6. Have you finished it?
Yeah, finished it, man.
Go on. Your thoughts. Your overview.
In one word.
Oh.
In one word.
Oh. Set up. No, so I enjoyed it. I must say I did enjoy it. I get what Hog's saying about the lack of fantasy. I get that. So compared to Game of Thrones, you've got, the people beyond the wall, you've got the Night's Watch, you've got, Miss Andy with magic stuff, the bloke with the flaming sword that died multiple times. You've got a lot of fantasy that you've got the White Walkers, obviously. There's a lot. It's rich with fantasy. What we've got to remember is this is a time way before most of that came about. They've got the prediction of the Song of Ice and Fire, and there's going to be the long winter, and the realm's going to have to unite, which is passed down from king to king. And Hog is right. The only other thing fantasy-wise is dragons.
Dragons.
Right. That is the only other thing that's fantasy wise. But the standout character for me, a lot of people are saying Damon. The standout character for me was Viserys, the king. He was the standout character. His final episode was amazing, and I thought it was really nice. And
one where he dies.
It's a good heartfelt episode. It's nice, and it is the catalyst. And then episode 9 and 10 it's all set up. We know it's going to war, and it is all set up ready for that war. Now, most of the time, I'd be like, "Go on, just get on with it." You know what I'm like. Come on, just get on with it now. Show us something. But I do feel like that now that we've seen this, I've seen it. You haven't. It is the setup for. It's literally a setup season. It's got all your chess. It's got all your chess pieces. It is more political. It is more like a medieval political drama. You've got all your chess pieces in place.
More like Morgan and Sherwood.
But each episode, the last 3 episodes, each one of them has a catalyst that builds on the next, and it builds up. And I'm raring to go for season 2. I must say that I am raring to go. They could have done it a lot quicker. It could have been done in 6 episodes. They could have cut out a lot of the gump from it. But overall, I know what Hog's saying about the fantasy. Overall, I'd probably about 6 out of 10. It was very well written for what it is in terms of a political maneuvering pieces around. It was very well written, but they could have got on with it, and they could have shown us some and made more fantasy into it as well. So I've got the same criticisms as Hog, but I'm not as harsh as Hog on the sides. There's elements to it that I enjoyed, and it's enough for me to stick with the story. Rings of Power, I stayed on it for 3 episodes and couldn't do it anymore. House of Dragon, I've seen it all the way through, and it didn't feel like a chore to see it all the way through. But could it have been better? Is it the best thing since sliced bread? No, it is average, but it's enough for me to go back to season 2 to see how it carries on. No, if that makes sense
at all.
What's that?
I won't be bothering at all, unless I hear some kind of, "Oh, it's good now." Did you carry on with Rings of Power, Taters?
Yes,
man.
Yes.
You've got a Lizard saying about Game of Thrones, and it weren't great, and it's building up to something better. 10 hours worth. Then we've got $1 billion show that you didn't watch Game of Thrones, but you've watched Rings of Power, and you're going, shouldn't we be going? Oh my!
Oh
God.
No, absolutely, of course,
Andor,
of course. I want to
average, but at least there's stuff to talk about. But neither of you can kind of say, "Oh my God, this was like."
I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel the same way I felt coming out of the cinema way back when the first one came out. It was just, I wanted to feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Hey ho!
I just couldn't stick to it. I just couldn't stick to Rings of Power.
No, I was determined to get through it. I mean, not much happens. There's a little bit of singing and some more walking, and they have a fight.
We don't put anyone behind unless they're useless.
Were the predictions right about who Sauron was? So I haven't seen anything.
Oh, everyone knew.
Well, I mean, I didn't read again. Right, you know what I'm like. When I get in, I try and avoid everything about it because I want to see it for myself.
And
so I never saw any predictions about who Sauron was. But watching the show,
stuff that we were
was kind of like if he was holding up a sign saying "I am Sauron." That would have been the only thing that made it more obvious.
It would have been harder to guess if it was
that. They tried to set Gandalf up as Sauron, and it was just like, no.
Oh, so it was Gandalf in the comic then?
Yeah, that is Gandalf. Yeah, absolutely. But then from the way they set that up, it's like my interpretation of the way they set that up. They're basically saying in this show that Gandalf and Sauron are on an even par. Because it was like, what? Because the people that come to find Sauron to put him in place mistakenly went to Gandalf thinking he was Sauron because he was of the same power. And it was just like, ooh, no, not at all. But, you know, hey-ho.
Yeah.
Random. I think I'm asking an obvious question.
Everything that's come before, and they go, no.
I think I'm asking an obvious question here.
Don't need any of that. We'll just do our own shit. You two children with Rings of Power, wasn't it? You two children from Bad Reboot. You've just, what was that you just did? What film did you? Oh, you fucked up Star Trek. Do you want to come over here and fuck up Lord of the Rings?
I've got one question
your
for
governor is fucking up Star Wars.
Shut up. I've got one question for you. Did Galadriel become more likable, or was she even more of a twat? I know the answer already, but from your opinion.
She wasn't really Galadriel, was she? She was just, she was just calling herself Galadriel. She didn't really become more likable. She was just a character in a show.
And did Elrond smash some more rocks?
No more rock smashing. No, little bit more of a quiff, but you know,
real. Okay. Wow, and that's all we can talk. And that's all we can talk about it, because
Elrond's hair. That's it. That was the highlight of the entire eight episodes. Elrond's hair.
It was 8. I thought it was 10.
Was it 10? I can't remember.
That's
how great it was. I forget how many episodes it was.
Oh, it's sad.
Wow. You know. It is a little bit. I mean, what's the next franchise or thing you reckon they're going to mess up? What's the next one to go down the toilet?
Fuck me, what's left?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
Anything left? I mean, Star Trek is on its knees. I haven't watched it for donkey's years, but you know, things like Picard and Discovery and what they're doing. Wow. No one watches it.
Well, see, I haven't watched.
Watches it, do you? You don't know. No one who's anyone watches it.
Did you see the first season of Picard?
No.
You didn't? Right, okay. I watched that, and it was quite engaging at the beginning, but it was more a case of, here's some people you know from some Star Trek stuff. It wasn't necessarily a great storyline. It was okay. It was watchable. It was entertaining for a little bit.
What? So was
Season
it like
2? I think I watched 2 episodes
and
just I keep saying I'm going to go and watch that. I'm going to go and watch that, and just haven't bothered.
Yeah, there's nothing.
See, randomly I started watching the Orville, and I thought,
that's
you know
funny.
What?
I like the Orville.
Better.
I like the Orville.
I thought that was better.
That is so funny. I do like that. There's a couple of episodes where they get quite deep in the Orville, but it's for the most part it's actually hilarious. It's Seth MacFarlane doing what he does.
Yeah. I just like the fact he's got. I just like the fact on his desk he's got the Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Just stupid stuff like that, and then the stuff that was simulator.
Yeah. Well, it's the fact that as well you've got these people that are highly enlightened. They're in space. They're traveling. They're in the 25th century, and there's oh shit! Look what's happened here. We fucked this bit up. It's like, it's brilliant. It's just like, it's just how you would want it to be.
I think one of the funniest moments for me was in the first season, and they're playing pranks on each other.
Yeah.
And they play a prank on the person on the bridge. He plays a prank on the robot, and the robot don't understand. So his way of getting back at him on the prank was removing his leg.
Yeah.
Whilst he was asleep.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely quality, man.
It's very well done. It is hilarious. It's like an updated version. You go back to Red Dwarf when that shit started. That was funny Star Trek.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, man. Yeah, ideal. I mean, but like, what's next? I'm running out of stuff, man.
Franchise wise, Jesus Christ. I don't know. The Muppets.
I ain't got anything out.
Talking about Kermit, they could redo the Muppets.
Christmas Carol. It's time to watch the Muppet Christmas Carol again soon.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, it's the season, isn't it? Yeah, it's the season. We're there now.
There's no updates.
No, nothing. Wow.
Updates on what?
The Muppets. I'm a member of the fan club, so they send us newsletters.
I thought you were chairman of the board.
It's a Muppet. No, it's sparse times.
It is. It is.
Well,
But it was.
any TV, let alone genre.
Mm.
Any TV.
Well, I mean, like I say, you got
Line of Duty. I was thinking, oh, I could do a little bit of Line of Duty. Like,
Yeah, something like that. Sort of thriller to get into.
man.
Although I must say, I did watch Dharma all the way through.
You haven't finished that yet because it's
Yeah,
great.
finished it.
No, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So,
stuff like that don't interest me at all.
Dharma was
like,
good.
oh,
Dharma was good. I must admit, I did watch that. And I mean, the only other thing I'm tempted by it, but I haven't even started it because Hog, you know how much I like old Flanagan and Hill House and stuff like that. I haven't touched Midnight Club because I know it's on like a young adult novel thing, so I know it's not going to be the same.
Well, I watched it because it was very
I know it's going to be the same. The only thing I can say I want to look forward to is Fall of the House of Usher, and they've cast Mark Hamill in it as well,
nice.
which I'm very much looking forward to.
Nice.
But I don't know when that's coming out. I think that's next year at some point. So
probably
got to wait for that. But yeah, I just want a nice like gritty thriller or something just to get into. Just something away from the superhero, just a little palate cleanser, I think. So I don't mind if it's intense and all that sort of stuff. Just a nice little palate cleanser away from it, and then come back in and give me some more good standard stuff instead of the shit.
See, just lately I've been on the more sort of documentary style stuff. I've not really been watching any sort of fantasy TV or sci-fi or anything. Been watching more documentaries.
Do you know old Brian Cox, not the actor? Brian Cox. Properly love. You talk about documentaries. He does some fascinating documentaries on BBC.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got a book out.
Yeah, several.
Black Hole.
Yeah.
And it's about
a black hole.
About black holes. So he's doing an interview this morning, and it's been on my mind all day long. Where they've got a photo, one of the very, very first ones, because they used to just see like black spots, didn't they?
Well, the photo you're referencing, is it the photo? Because when they made Interstellar, they had Kip Thorne, who's a physicist, put together a rough idea of what a black hole should look like for them to actually put it on the screen. And is it the photo where it turns out that he was actually right?
I don't know.
Right.
It's got like this orange. All it is little blurry. What's it? But what they're saying is, until we knew what we were looking for,
yes,
we take a picture of it. Because all we used to see was black, literally black, like splodgy.
Yeah.
Galaxy, right. But what this Brian Cox said was, in the middle of it, so they got the photo up on the screen.
Yeah.
Just like an orange, it's all black apart from, like, say, an orange ring.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, Brian Cox, he turned around to the bloke on the sofa and he said, that is a photo of the end of time. Thinking about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said, but until we learn more about it, and he's talking about his book, and I thought, I've got to buy this book now.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating stuff.
And someone says that. So the bloke is going, well, let me try and get my head around this. He said, so if I'm in a spaceship, he said, and I'm going towards this black hole, he said, like in the science fiction films, and I'm trying to escape, he said, but I can't, and I'll get sucked into. He said, well, you will cease to exist in time.
Yeah, that's right.
He said, well, what does that mean? So, but I love Brian Cox. Like, if I'd have had a teacher like him at school,
yeah,
we'd have all been space physicists.
Yeah.
It makes it so interesting. I don't understand it. So he says, all right. And he picked up a bit of paper in front of the bloke and he went, so if I set this on fire, he said, it becomes ash, it becomes gas. He said, but all the elements of what that once was are still there.
Still there, yeah.
He said, so you travelling that black hole, you will cease to exist, but you will still be there.
Still be there, yeah.
And he was going, right. He said, like, so time for you will end. He said, but for me, looking at you, he said, you will be there.
Yeah.
Forever. And that's when your brain.
Well, from an outside perspective, the person he would be sitting on the event horizon, not moving. He would just be there.
Event horizon as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, that was a decent film.
It was.
I was thinking that this morning. I was thinking, oh, that was a bad film, actually, where what's his name goes mad.
And you were mocking me the last time we did this when I mentioned about Event Horizon. I wanted a prequel to it.
Yeah, I still think that's a shit idea.
But talking about documentaries,
mention every podcast if you want.
Talking about documentaries,
it will be a good idea.
Talking about shut up. Talk about that one you said the other day about Built for Mars. That's actually really good. Really enjoyed that.
Oh, what, we're building the rover.
Yes, that was really good. Really good. But just lately, they've just dropped one on Nat Geo. Chris Hemsworth putting himself through stressful situations, trying to improve his health and stuff. That I've only done like 3 or 4 episodes of it. It's really, really interesting stuff. You should look into it. If honestly, like not Space Lizard so much. He's young and fit. You, on the other hand, yeah,
live forever, mate. Don't worry about that.
All right, Connor.
I will outlast all of you lot.
Yeah, from the Clan McLeod.
You fit blokes, you'll all be gone. I'll be going. I sold my soul to the right one.
Yeah.
Have you just talking of selling the soul, Charlie Cox? Have you heard that Tom Holland signed on for another 6 projects with Marvel?
Yes, Spider-Man 4, of the Young Avengers. I can't remember them all now, but yeah.
One of the rumored ones is Daredevil Born Again.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you said sell your soul, I just instantly thought Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way. There's nothing else that he's done apart from sell his soul to the devil.
No, can't wait. 20 episodes, isn't it?
Oh,
23 episodes are going to do a Daredevil?
Yeah. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, I think they said 23.
Yeah, how many did they do on the Netflix?
They'll only be 7 minutes each. But
13 on Netflix.
It was 13. Yeah. Okay. And are they bringing Punisher back as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought John Bernthal was refusing to.
No, Bernthal's on.
He's on as well, is he?
Once upon a time, he said, unless it can be 18 and adult and respecting the veterans and all that. Once upon a time.
And what's they're saying
it's happened with Blade tied up, and there's Dismal with some dough, and he said, "Well, I've got." There's something kicking off with Blade as well, isn't there? Because the director's dropped out for Blade, and there's talks of the actor dropping out as well.
Never mind.
On Blade, the actor, the director fucked off because I was basically going to copy Underworld.
Really?
The script was Underworld, but so the story was apparently Blade's daughter's in it.
Oh, right. How's that happen?
And she's all right until she gets bitten by a werewolf.
Yeah.
And then she gets the powers beyond anyone's comprehension.
So they're literally copying Underworld.
Yeah. Wow.
They copied Underworld, and the director went, "I'm off."
Yeah, that's been done. Yeah,
I'm gonna get a job with Twitter.
See, now that was a good franchise up until about number 4.
Well, Underworld.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
As long as they put her in that PBC app,
absolutely,
I found something interesting to watch.
Absolutely,
sold.
No,
that was
first 2 were all, but at least they said what they.
Yeah, no, I liked Underworld. I thought it was bloody good.
Yeah, you didn't press play expecting a rom-com,
no,
or anything Oscar worthy, did you?
No.
You press play. You thought she's going to jump around. There's going to be some gurgah biting her action machine gun.
Yeah.
And to be fair, since the Underworld stuff, the only real
5-6 movies.
Yeah, the only real sort of decent vampire thing was that one on the plane on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Blood Red Sky.
Yeah, yeah, that was the only decent thing, because like around about the time of Underworld, then yeah, there were Twilight bollocks and all that. There was no real good. Even the Dracula Untold movie wasn't great. And then you know, like,
Great at all, was it?
no, it wasn't great at all. But then that Blood Red Sky, mate, it just tapped in something. You know, obviously, I think for me, 30 Days a Night, Blood Red Sky, they're up there for me in that sort of vampire sort of genre.
See, now you say about Dracula Untold. I actually found that quite good. I did like Dracula Untold. I thought that was pretty good.
Feel with this shit.
I like that flip on the Dracula story.
Yeah, there was elements of it that were good. There's elements of it that was good, but overall it wasn't that great.
Oh, it wasn't the best movie I've ever seen. Yeah, no, not by a long shot.
But in terms of like Blade though, like Blade stands up as one of the all-time, not only best vampire.
My coffin.
Blade was awesome.
But this is the thing: Blade 1 and even Blade 2. Let's forget Blade 3. Blade 1 and 2. That doesn't only just stand up as one of the best. That doesn't only stand up as one of the best.
You vampire motherfuckers!
Shut up.
What you talking about, you vampire motherfuckers?
Borderline.
But just how special that them first two Blade.
Oh, I thought you were saying how special he is.
Oh, he's fucking special as well.
That's more like it.
Nice, but the Blade movies, they're not only one of the best superhero films of all time, it's one of the best vampire films of all time.
Oh, I miss my Star-Lords.
The shit was good.
I miss my Star-Lords.
Once upon a time. Yeah, you're right, Space Lizard.
But obviously, you're saying you're saying once upon a time, but in comics, there's obviously good shit out there still. You're still managing to fill stuff every week.
Yeah,
there's good stuff out there, and I comic wise, I was mainly a collector of Batman. I must admit, I haven't got anything for a while. I've got Devil's Reign, which I finished, which I really enjoyed.
Some good Batman shit out there, man.
I've got Devil's Reign, which I really enjoyed, which was obviously the Daredevil one, but. Yeah, I haven't really got any. I had a whole run, especially like the Snyder and Capullo stuff. I had the whole run of Batman stuff.
Oh, hang on. He's got something. Stuff. Oh.
You mean like this?
That's my one I gave you.
No, this is. You gave me a graphic novel. I bought the individual issues.
So why haven't I got my graphic novel back then?
He sold it.
Oh, what happened to my long box of comics I lent you, you prick?
They evaporated.
And my absolute Superman. Oh, I still haven't got back. I saw that on eBay the other day. The address was in a galaxy far, far away. So
yeah.
I wonder who's selling that.
Well, the problem was I changed spaceships. I've got to try and find it.
It was in care of Event Horizon.
Yeah.
PO Box Andor.
Oh, I tell you, sorry, I just thought of something else. Did any of you start watching Lost in Space?
Nah.
When they redone it?
No, I'm saying
what the one with Matt LeBlanc?
Yes, I did, and it sucked.
What, the one with Matt LeBlanc?
No, not the movie, the TV series. Fucking Matt LeBlanc. How old are you when that come out? Well, you would have been about 5, wouldn't you?
No, I think that came out in about 98, 99.
Yeah, like I said, you'd have been about 5.
I'll be there for you.
To be fair, though, that had a good cast, though, to be fair.
Well, never mind.
I don't understand what went... But this is the thing. So you get Gary Oldman in it.
Yep.
Heather Graham. I can't remember who the main... is William Hurt. And then you decide to have your lead commando man as Joey from Friends.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It was that or Chandler.
It's like, how does that make sense? It's like, how does that make sense? You've got this awesome cast, and then you put... don't get me wrong, I love Friends, but you put... He doesn't fit that commando sort of...
He's got to say that. He's got to say that. Miss
like
Space Lizard would have his nuts.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I like Friends. It's good. I've always liked Friends.
You do Space Lizards have?
What's that?
Are you monogamous, Space Lizards? Have you
No,
got
he's green.
significant other? Bit like Kermit.
Fucking hell.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so right, you didn't watch Lost in Space. Brilliant, well
No.
done. So we can't talk about that.
No.
What have you watched it? Have you?
I thought they were doing a new one. I thought they were redoing the new season.
Series of that already.
Hmm?
I thought they'd done 2 series. I thought there was a second series of that. 3?
3 already. Wow.
No, I did try and watch the first one.
You weren't interested. I actually found it interesting.
I just couldn't.
It was a different take.
Has anyone watched randomly talking about series that people haven't watched? The one that's intrigued me, it got cancelled, then Netflix have got it, and they've done another one, Manifest. Has anyone touched upon that at all?
No.
I did watch it back in the day.
Is that any good? That's one thing that sort of popped in my head because it kind of reminded me for some reason of Lost.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
A little, but yeah, but not as boring.
Okay.
Manifest.
You know what? I'm so glad I never watched Lost.
Yeah.
I never got into
You know
it when
you
it
saved
started.
yourself hours of pain.
Yeah.
Really, you did. It's hours of your life you're never going to get back.
Yeah.
If you ever met anyone, it's a bit like a Game of Thrones fan and a Lost fan.
They're in like a support group together now,
You
trying to
never
recover.
meet one that says they enjoyed the entire thing from beginning to end. They say
The last season was shit.
yeah, the Game of Thrones fans say, oh, it was going so well till series 8, and Lost. It was like they actually did that. They actually ended it like that.
Yeah, shocking.
How do you feel about Witcher?
I don't, because I was tried watching the first series and thought, no, this is pathetic.
Didn't like it. Wow.
No,
I got through season 1. I didn't touch season 2.
there was an action scene.
Hmm.
First 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, do you know what? And I do like Cavill.
Yeah.
He's a decent actor, and when you see him, he plays the part.
Yeah.
He's quit it though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. After this season, yeah.
Well,
Does
would
anyone
kill his horse and make it shit. Which
They
is
wanted to what?
But
What do they want to do?
I just couldn't. As soon as that woman turned up a bit wonky, I thought, no,
Hang on, where is it?
I'm not having it.
So what?
That,
That's it.
I'm not having it. It reminded me too much of my own journey.
Yeah. Oh.
So why has he quit it? Because he's a massive fan of the games and stuff. So it must have been quite a big.
No, because they really were abusing the character. Apparently, series 2. Did you watch it, Taters? Series 2. Because my son really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But no one else has.
I actually thought it was good, but you know.
Yeah, but I don't think either of you have read the books. To be fair, I think
No.
Game. I think
I haven't. No.
Played the game and you fancy Henry Cavill, so you're all right.
I've not played the game, not read the books.
You fancy Henry Cavill. So that's
I
all right.
just fancy Henry Cavill.
Leaves that then.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Absolutely. Hey?
Nothing.
Has there been any movement on him being announced as the next Bond yet? Because he fucking should be.
No.
Maybe that's why he's quitting The Witcher.
He should be. He should be big time.
I think that the bloke that they've got to do Doctor Who, when he's finished the next series of that, he can be Bond.
I thought it was a bird doing Doctor Who.
Hey, hello.
I thought it was a woman doing Doctor Who.
No, it's a black guy now, isn't it?
I don't know.
Don't know what I'm going to have to edit that bit with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have to
Right, he's
cut
black,
that.
he's gay, he's non-binary, he's Doctor Who. He might as well be James Bond. Just fuck it all up. Just do that. We had the last one crying. He's got a family now. He's crying like oh God, this is what we go to the cinema for, to watch a man have a kid have her moan at me, and then fuck off, and I'll cry, and then die. Yay. Yay. What happened to, no, Mr. Bond, I want you to die. Jesus going, right down your ball bag. What happened to that? What happened to him jumping out and driving the car really fast and jumping in a boat, shooting people, shagging a bird and saving the day? No. You shag that bird, you have a baby.
Yeah, not the 90s anymore, mate.
You live up to your responsibilities, Mr. Bond. You cry. You regret your decisions.
And then he killed himself.
Oh, yeah, and kill yourself with a missile.
That was just... No, not into Bond.
No, touched the nerve there, I think.
I was into Bond.
God.
I was liking Craig.
Yeah.
And then...
Pierce Brosnan's best Bond.
Then it happened, didn't it? 2016.
Oh, what do you feel about that?
Everything slipped off the fucking cliff face.
What do you think about that?
What?
He just said Pierce Brosnan's the best Bond.
Oh, the best Bond.
Go on.
And I say that because I think everyone will go with who they grew up with. And for me, Pierce Brosnan was Bond when I was growing up. GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, World's Not Enough. Forget the Die Another Day one. Forget that one. But them three, they were awesome. And that he's got the right charm, the right like sort of charisma as Bond. But he can also be dark and brutal. He sort of blends everything that came before together. So for me, and he's the one I grew up with. For me, he is the best one.
Timothy Dalton.
What the fuck? Shut up.
He was
really?
Apart from Sean Connery, he was the nearest to the actual source material. Because
black and white.
He weren't likable. He was violent. He was misogynistic. He was narcissistic. Yeah.
Timothy Dalton.
Okay.
I like
GoldenEye's still my favourite Bond film of all of them. GoldenEye's still my favourite.
But no, if I had to choose, apart from, I think it was Connery. I know. I grew up with the Roger Moore ones, but I always thought he was a bit of a fop. To be fair, might as well get Rowan Atkinson.
See, you're onto something there.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Never say never.
Exactly.
Never say never, man.
But the Barclaycard adverts were pretty good.
Those were that. the fact that they got films out of a 2-minute Barclaycard advert is amazing. Yes. That was just. Yeah. It was just.
And what was the name of his sidekick? What was it?
Boff.
That was
Boff. Come on, Boff. Smell those Tuareg fires. I remember the advert. It was very funny.
Oh, I think on that bombshell. There.
On that Bond shell.
I like what you did there, Taters.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
I think we should leave it there.
Yeah.
We're drifting off.
I think we drifted off about 10 minutes in, man.
That's all right. That's no worries. It's good to drift off. It's good to drift off. And like I said in the week, we're just free balling.
We free balled like fuck there.
Yeah, man.
It's good.
Just free balls.
It was good.
It was good. It was good.
And I need to do a wee.
Right. So, have you finished yet?
Yeah, I think we'll call that.
Now he's done. See, those tenors come in handy, didn't they?
I don't.
Do you know what? I've been peeing in my poo-poo pants all day.